Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Wednesday. Hey, baby, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Well, we're halfway through the week, and I'm still here, so it's good.
It's a good week.
Yeah, I've got a great guest coming up here. We've got a guest by the name of John Ordover, and he's got a book called Lie There and Lose Weight. It's how he lost over 100 pounds
I
and
like that
kept
plan.
it off, and I think that's pretty cool. So he is a friend of a friend, and I'm looking forward to chatting with him because I think this sounds like a neat idea. So I've got a link to where you can go to pre-order the book. I guess the book's coming out later this year. We're going to chat with him now, and then when it comes out, we're going to chat again. But going to visit now because I just can't wait. I mean, I want to lose some weight, don't you?
Absolutely.
So I'm kind of excited. John Ordover coming up later in the program. Got a quote for today as well. You ready for your quote?
Ready.
Sugar Ray Robinson, the boxer, says, "To be a champ, you have to believe in yourself when no one else will." I agree with that 100%. There are times that I'm the only one that believes in myself. I mean, even my wife over here says, no way. It's not going to happen. All right. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
Many people make New Year's resolutions this month. If you're making a resolution to kick some sort of addiction to the curb, I'm proud of you. It's not easy, but you can do this. Think of how great 2018 can be without the addiction monkey on your back. You can do this, and the Addiction Hope and Helpline wants to help. If you or someone you know needs help kicking a drinking problem or a drug addiction problem, there's a toll-free number to call, 800-438-0380. That's the Addiction Hope and Helpline, 1-800-438-0380. Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
Well, I thought you'd never ask. It's Wednesday, the 17th day of January. Today is Ditch Your New Year's Resolutions Day.
Oh.
I know people that celebrated this one early. How many people? Raise your hands unless you're driving and you can't raise your hands. Raise your hands if you already gave up on your New Year's resolution. I kind of already did.
No, you didn't.
I gave up on some of them. I'm going to, hang in there with the most important ones. But I made too many resolutions this year.
Okay.
One was to not eat chocolate, and I failed that like noon on New Year's Day. So I didn't do well. Anyway, this has been your special things that are going on today. We've got a lot of fun stuff to get to in the program, so we'll tell you all about that in a bit.
John and Heidi.
Jewelry. It's a great way to say I love you. Valentine's Day is next month already. Don't wait until the last day, then rush into getting something that'll get you by for another year. Make this the year that you plan ahead and get something amazing. I know, you're on a budget. That's cool. We have a friend in the jewelry business. He's already lower than any other jeweler I've found, and he's letting us do a special this month to save you even more. I have the details and a link to his store at radiosavings.com. Get her the jewelry she deserves at a price you can afford. Check it out at radiosavings.com. Coming up, we get your brain on drugs, but first, a drunken Florida man was kicked off a Spirit airline flight after he urinated all over the bathroom.
Oh.
Facing a large fine. So, why would you do that? I wonder.
Maybe he didn't mean to. Maybe there was turbulence, and you guys don't have very good aim when things are standing still.
Now. It does say a drunken Florida man.
Okay,
so
well, that would make it even harder if it was turbulence.
I didn't know which one it'd be, and there were three of them. Aim for the middle one. I don't know. All right, we got your brain on drugs coming up.
John and Heidi.
Each day at this time, we talk about people doing dumb things under the influence, but addiction is no laughing matter. If you or someone you know needs help, there's a toll-free number you can call.
1-800-438-0380.
That's the Addiction Hope and Helpline.
1-800-438-0380.
And this is your brain on drugs. An Arkansas man shoplifted a box of feminine hygiene products.
Oh.
But he paid for his beer. According to store security, an unidentified man was seen stuffing some feminine I said that wrong, feminine products in his pants. He grabbed a cold beer and then he went to the register to pay for the beer. Police are looking for the man. He's apparently too shy to purchase the products, so there you go.
Yeah, he must have been. I'm sure that's what it was.
He
didn't want to have to pay for them.
Well, you know what? Good news for people in a situation like that. On Friday, we actually have a guest. We're going to be chatting with Krista from a company called Odeva, ODEEVA.com, and they have a service where they'll send that right to you every month.
Then you don't have to go out
and
buy it.
I think that's a cool idea. So anyway, we reached out to them and said, I'd like to chat with you about this. And they even sent us one of the boxes. Look at that thing. That's huge.
Yeah.
A ton of stuff in there. So
there was a ton of stuff.
Going to be chatting with her coming up on Friday. And as for now, we've got a link to this story on our Facebook page. And if you do something dumb under the influence, you just might end up on this segment. We call it Your Brain on Drugs.
John and Heidi.
Now, big screen, little screen. The future of the X-Files is a little more uncertain now. Gillian Anderson announced last week she's leaving the series. We have not seen the reboot, or the, what do they call it? Reboot? Remake?
I don't know. I have no interest. I kind of lost interest in the X-Files.
Well, we watched it back, 10 years ago, or whenever it was on.
I don't know.
It did kind of get a little weird. Because it was, I don't know, there was some...
It was good at first. It was really good at first.
But it just kind of got a little more far-fetched.
Yeah.
Anyway, she made several comments suggesting she may not return for another season. But then a week ago, I think it was like a week ago today, she finally made the official decision that she says, yep, I'm not coming back. And in the celebration of the Golden Globe wins, Amazon offered, and it's too late now because it's already over with, but The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel apparently did really well at the Golden Globes, and they were offering it up for free for like the weekend or something. Anyway, there's a lot of people that watched it. I didn't watch it, but a lot of people watched it. So if you missed it, well, you missed it. This has been your big screen, little screen.
John and Heidi.
Make 2018 the year for your business. Use radio to get more people to know your business. Radio is a powerful tool. Over 90% of us listen to the radio every week. You are right now. Imagine if this ad was talking about your business. Could that help you hit those goals you set for 2018? We can help. We can also create a fun jingle, too, to get people singing your song. When you put words to music, they're 9 times more memorable, and that makes radio work even better. Learn more at RadioReallyWorks.com. That's RadioReallyWorks.com.
John and Heidi.
Now your scoop of the day. General Motors has announced that next year they will have a car on the road that has no steering wheel and no pedals.
That just, to me, that's a very, very bad idea.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm ready for this. Although I did have a car one time that the steering wheel fell off. Does that count? No? It's a whole different thing, I think. One of London's leading restaurants has launched a new pricing model based on the travel industry with different charges depending on the day of the week and the time of your booking. Bob, Richard. So I wonder if that's a typo or if his name is Bob. Have you ever heard of a Bob?
I have not heard of a Bob.
Bob Richard, known for a luxurious dining room, is offering exactly the same menu, only prices are 25% lower for off-peak times like Mondays, lunch, 15% off mid-peak, including dinners and Tuesdays and Sundays, and then book for a Saturday night, and it's full price. It's not a bad idea.
It's really not a bad idea.
It does make a ton of sense, but there's a lot of people giving them flack for it. They're saying that they don't think that's right. Just pick a price and go with it. But the problem is, here's the thing. There's some days where they're going, I would do anything just to get a customer.
No, I think it's a great
if somebody
idea.
Would please come and sit at that table.
And if you could come during the off-peak hours and save a little bit of money, that's a good thing. And if it's not important to you, if you don't mind their full prices, then continue to go when you would have gone otherwise.
I think it's kind of an interesting
idea.
Otherwise,
what harm is there in getting a discount if you did happen to go in early?
At the right time. I think it's kind of a cool idea.
I think it's great.
Early Sunday morning, fire officials in Santa Ana, California responded to a car crash that looked like a picture from a movie scene with a white Nissan Altima lodged into the second floor of a dental office. Police say the vehicle crossed 3 lanes before hitting a center divider and then soaring through the air and straight into the second story of the building. One of the individuals involved in the crash was able to get out of the vehicle without help, while the other required rescuing. I've got a link to this story on our Facebook page because it is absolutely fascinating. It kind of reminds me of a story we shared last week, and if you didn't see the video, I mean, it's worth taking a moment. I mean, do it on a break or something. Don't do it, during company time. Wink, wink. But there's a video of this guy at a bank that when he takes off, he apparently got his foot stuck on the gas pedal or something.
Oh, yeah.
And he hit an embankment and ramped over another car. And that was amazing. A dash cam that caught all of that on tape. It was kind of interesting to watch. And like I said, I've got a link to this one too. And you can see a car sticking out of the second floor of a building, which you don't see that every day. At least I don't. Do you see that every day?
No, I sure don't.
Yeah, I don't either. In other news, Hooters is now offering home delivery of their chicken wings. So
really?
for people who just want the wings, at home. And
so
not
is it
there.
The girls that are delivering
I don't know. I have no idea. I Have I ever been to Hooters? Have we ever?
Yeah.
Have we really? Oh, the Mall of America. That's right. We did. Okay, so I'm like, I don't go there, but I remember the movie Big Daddy. He was making fun of Adam Sandler was making fun of the lady, and there have been a couple of other movies where they kind of featured that restaurant. So now they're doing home delivery. So.
I would hope it's not the girls. That I would think would be a very bad idea, putting those girls in a situation where they could be at someone's home.
Yeah, that could be very bad. A survey by the Tax Foundation found that New York has the highest lottery prize tax withholding rates in the nation. So highest in the nation, New York. Does that surprise you?
No.
All right.
Not even a little.
And a Texas man was arrested after confessing to a Pittsburgh TV station that he planned on shooting players and fans at the Steelers game last weekend.
Whoa.
That's kind of crazy. How in the world? I'm glad that he didn't do it. I just can't even imagine.
I would hope this man is in custody.
Well, I'm sure that he
under
is.
Psychiatric evaluation.
Yeah, I'm sure that there's probably going to be checking into quite a bit on that. That is quite the story. And there's probably others that have already talked about that. We're not sports fans, so we don't really pay attention to the sports. Somehow that got over to the news finally. So that should have been news this weekend.
That should have been top on the list.
I think so. All right. This has been your Scoop of the Day.
John and Heidi.
Last year, we went to 80s in the Sand in Punta Cana, and it was the best week ever. You should join us this year for amazing music from Bret Michaels, Taylor Dane, ABC, John Waite, Sebastian Bach, English Beat, The Romantics, Honeymoon Suite, John Parr, and more. Plus, backed by popular request, Jody Watley, Berlin, and When in Rome, UK. Most of us who went last year are going to come back, so the rooms are filling fast. Get your tickets and join us at 80s in the Sand, November 3rd through the 10th, 2018. See photos of our great memories and learn about payment plans at radiosavings.com. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show. We've got a guest right now that's got a cool book. John Ordover has a book called Lie There and Lose Weight. Now, John, this sounds like my kind of program. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing just fine.
I like the subtitle. It says, How I Lost 100 Pounds by Doing Next to Nothing. So this is something that you didn't just write a book. This is something that you actually did and then said, hey, I should probably write a book about this.
Yep, that's exactly right. I don't. Just to be clear, this is not like I don't think I have to reveal the truth of how to lose weight, but it is a book about what I had to do to keep myself on program for over a year to lose the weight.
And now, when you started, are you okay talking about what you weighed when you started and what you weigh today?
Sure.
What was your weight when you started this diet?
305.6.
305.6. And what are you today?
190.4.
That's awesome. That is very, very cool. And now, I'm seeing some photos on here. I see on the back cover, and now we got to mention the book is not officially available until March, but you can pre-order it now. And I'm looking at the pre-order info here online, and I see on the back cover a before and an after photo. And the before photo, that was 305?
Yes.
And then the after is kind of where you are today?
Exactly.
That is fantastic. And again, the book is called Lie There and Lose Weight, How I Lost 100 Pounds by Doing Next to Nothing. Now, when did you start this journey, John?
I started it in October of 2015, and it took me over a year.
And now, was this something that you had like somebody suggest to you, or you came up with this, or how did you choose this particular plan?
Well, I went to my doctor, which is I think what everybody needs to do before they start any weight loss program. And my doctor said, "Here are your health issues. Here's what I think how much healthier you'll be if you've lost this weight." And then he treated me for those issues and said, "Now lose the weight and we'll see which ones go away." And so I went out and I just buckled down and I found a program that worked for me. And anybody can find the program that works for you. But the real problem is you're going to be hungry. It's going to be difficult. It's going to be hard. And you need to know going in that it is going to be hard.
Yeah.
But for me, at least, I found that exercise was the worst thing I could possibly do. Because exercise just made me stressed and hungry. And I really needed to leave that part out of it and just focus on cutting what I ate down to an appropriate level for me.
Nice. I like what I'm reading here. It says, starting a diet is easy. Sticking to one is hard. And I think
exactly.
Here we are, a couple weeks into the new year right now. And back on January 1st, a lot of people made these little things called New Year's resolutions. And I bet there's a lot of people that made a New Year's resolution to lose some weight and, get in better shape in 2018. And I'll bet some of those people have already given up on that, John.
Well, that's because people tend to think that if they can't stick to a diet, there's something wrong with them. But the reality is that sticking to a diet is extremely hard. And if you find that you're having trouble doing it, nothing's wrong with you. You're normal. It's a very hard thing to do. And you have to go into it knowing it's going to be really hard. Because if you face something and you think, oh, well, this will be no big deal, and it turns out to be really hard, you'll probably stop. But if you go into it knowing, it's like, going to school. It's like you go into college, you think it'll be easy, you probably have a hard time. If you go in there knowing you're going to have to buckle down and work really hard to get it done, then at least you know what you're up against.
Absolutely.
People need to know that when it comes to weight loss, what they're up against is very, very hard. And knowing that going in helps somewhat. So you're saying, wow, I'm having a real hard time sticking to my diet. It's not that something's wrong with you as a person. It's not that you're morally wrong. It's not that you have emotional trauma. It's hard. It's just hard.
Again, the book is called Lie There and Lose Weight, How I Lost 100 Pounds by Doing Next to Nothing. We're visiting with the author of the book, and he has done this. He lost over 100 pounds by, according to the book, by doing next to nothing. But it was just by sticking to the diet. It wasn't going to the gym. It wasn't strenuous work. Now, something that we want to talk about right now, John, is the fact that the book is not currently available. It is available in pre-order, but this is something people should do for two reasons. First of all, if they put it off until the book comes out, when does it come out? March
25th.
Now, and I want to chat with you that day as well. I want to make sure we're going to remind people. But here's the thing. If you are listening right now thinking, I really do want to stick to a diet, I do want to do this, and you say, I'm going to wait till March and go out and get it, you're not going to do it. You're going to completely forget about it. Life happens. Things come up. So if they go on right now and do the pre-order and they get this book in advance, they're doing two favors. They're doing themselves a favor because now, hey, I got it. When it comes out, I get it. But they're doing you a favor as well because that can actually help you on the day the books come out, can it?
Yes, because if you order it on Amazon or BarnesandNoble.com or whatever, if you order it there, once the orders stack up, then they all hit on the same day. And that makes me look like I'm selling real fast, and that's good for me.
And the thing that's neat about that is, again, like I said, it's doing us a favor because we're getting the book that we want, but it's also doing you a favor because that can put you on a list somewhere that people see that and go, oh, wow, Lie There and Lose Weight. What is this book? So I'm going to put a link on our social media, and I'll have it there so people, that's already there actually, but you can go there and if you want to click, it'll take you directly to the book to get all the details. I'm not telling you to buy the book, folks. If you look at the info, if you like it, do it. If you don't, don't. But all I'm going to do is make it really easy for you to find it. And I've had a chance to chat with John a little bit ahead of time here. Nice guy. Love the concept. I mean, who doesn't like the idea of lie there and lose weight? I mean, hey, you got me. Yeah, this is something I can do.
Yeah, it's hard. It's really hard, but it's like do it one thing at a time. First, drop the weight you need to drop, then build up the muscle you need to build.
Very good.
They're two completely different things.
Well, John, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us here. Again, the book is called Lie There and Lose Weight, How I Lost 100 Pounds by Doing Next to Nothing. Our guest today, John Ordover. The book is available in March, but you can get it in pre-order now. And I've got a link to that at facebook.com/John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
Many people make New Year's resolutions this month. If you're making a resolution to kick some sort of addiction to the curb, I'm proud of you. It's not easy, but you can do this. Think of how great 2018 can be without the addiction monkey on your back. You can do this, and the Addiction Hope and Helpline wants to help. If you or someone you know needs help kicking a drinking problem or a drug addiction problem, there's a toll-free number to call, 800-438-0380. That's the Addiction Hope and Helpline, 1-800-438-0380. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Sonic the Hedgehog has a name. You know what it is?
No, I thought it was Sonic.
No, it's Ogilvy Morris Hedgehog.
Okay.
Yeah, Ogilvy Morris, not Sonic. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Even though Fruit Loops are many different colors, they all have exactly the same flavor. So if you like the red ones
know that.
better than the green ones, well, it's all in your head because they taste exactly the same. And our final fun fact for you,
What's
Heidi.
that, John?
George Clooney did the voice for Sparky. That was a dog on South Park.
Oh.
Do you remember Sparky?
No, I never really watched South Park.
Me neither. Neither one of us did. So that's why you looked familiar. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show. A couple of fun facts brought to you by RadioSavings.com.
John and Heidi.
Last year, we went to 80s in the Sand in Punta Cana, and it was the best week ever. You should join us this year for amazing music from Bret Michaels, Taylor Dane, ABC, John Waite, Sebastian Bach, English Beat, The Romantics, Honeymoon Suite, John Parr, and more. Plus, backed by popular request, Jody Watley, Berlin, and When in Rome, UK. Most of us who went last year are going to come back, so the rooms are filling fast. Get your tickets and join us at 80s in the Sand, November 3rd through the 10th, 2018. See photos of our great memories and learn about payment plans at radiosavings.com. Time now for the grandiloquent word of the day, and the word is Abderian. Abderian. What do you think of that?
Okay.
Abderian. Abderian.
Okay.
I don't know if I said it right the first time.
I don't know what it means.
Abderian. It's an adjective. Of or belonging to the ancient city of Abdera or its inhabitants, given to incessant or idiotic laughter is the other one.
Where's Abdera?
So, I don't know. It says it's Greek, so maybe it's in Greece. I have no idea. I don't know where that is. So it's when you give in to incessant or idiotic laughter. Every once in a while that happens with my wife and I. One time it happened at a very stuffy, serious concert.
Yes.
I felt so bad. We couldn't quit laughing, but in all fairness, it was kind of his fault.
I tend to laugh all the time when I'm not supposed to be laughing.
The suppressed laughter is the toughest.
I know.
But there was this, they had like a quartet, and the guy would come out and he'd say, up next we have Reflections. And then boom, 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 boom. And then the next one, this is Reactions. Boom, boom, boom. And all the songs sounded exactly the same.
Yeah.
And then during the intermission, they said, during the intermission, we're going to be selling our CD. And Heidi said to me, do you suppose it's a single? We did not stay after intermission. This has been your grandiloquent word of the day. By the way, the word once again is Abderian. Jewelry. It's a great way to say I love you. Valentine's Day is next month already. Don't wait until the last day, then rush into getting something that'll get you by for another year. Make this the year that you plan ahead and get something amazing. I know, you're on a budget. That's cool. We have a friend in the jewelry business. He's already lower than any other jeweler I've found, and he's letting us do a special this month to save you even more. I have the details and a link to his store at radiosavings.com. Get her the jewelry she deserves at a price you can afford. Check it out at radiosavings.com. Now, some weird news on a Wednesday. Babysitter of the Year candidate here, Yahara Tiadro, age 26, was arrested after she left two young children home alone with a shotgun and ammunition within arm's reach. Deputies say a 3-year-old girl called 911 for help. Dispatcher said she kept the girl on the phone until deputies arrived. They say there was also someone else there, a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, the children were both in soiled diapers. They said one dog was running loose in the home. 2 others were in cages in the kitchen. The deputy noted the home was unkempt with dog feces on the floor, barely any food in the kitchen. A neighbor said she had left in a golf cart around 7:30 that morning. She insisted that she had left the children alone for just 5 minutes, but then told a deputy later that she asked the neighbor to watch the kids and checked in on them at 8:50 a.m. She also told the police that she knew there was an unsecured firearm in the trailer, but she thought the weapon was broken.
Wow.
She was arrested on 2 counts of child neglect.
I would hope so.
The children were picked up by a family member. So there you go. Wow, that is not good. That is not good at all. Man, words can't describe, so I'm going to move on. This is your weird news on a Wednesday. Now your moment of duh. John Bell went from store robber to begging to let him out of the store. He started robbing the store, and then they locked him in.
Was this a manicurist by chance?
No. This guy was at a cell phone store in Houston.
Okay.
She refused to open the register, and he wandered the store. Other customers and employees, including a woman with a baby stroller, then quickly ran out the front door when the robber turned his back. One of the employees then slammed the front door and locked it, trapping him inside. He tried to smash the door down, even opened fire on the lock before saying, "I'm going to jail." Bell then got down on his hands and knees and started to pray, begging someone to please let him out. He's also heard apologizing several times. Police arrive and arrest the man. He pled guilty to aggravated robbery with a deadly weapon and was sentenced to 5 years in prison.
good.
That's a long time
I
to go
watched
to
a
prison.
video online just the other day, and it was the same thing. He went into a manicure place.
Why would you rob these kind of places?
The women all just got up and walked out and then locked the door and locked him inside. And he was beating on the door trying to get out. So it was the same thing.
Holy cow. Well, apparently that's what you do these days. I don't think you should rob nothing. It's a bad idea. Don't be robbing anything because it's just a bad plan. Coming up, we've got good news to get to. I hope it's on the way. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
Make 2018 the year for your business. Use radio to get more people to know your business. Radio is a powerful tool. Over 90% of us listen to the radio every week. You are right now. Imagine if this ad was talking about your business. Could that help you hit those goals you set for 2018? We can help. We can also create a fun jingle, too, to get people singing your song. When you put words to music, they're 9 times more memorable, and that makes radio work even better. Learn more at RadioReallyWorks.com. That's RadioReallyWorks.com.
John and Heidi.
Coming up, we got some good news to get to, but first, some news that's kind of upsetting, honestly.
Okay.
I think it's really just really sad. When the IRS needs to collect money, they use outside contractors to do that.
Right.
Did you know for every $1 the agency receives, they actually pay the contractors $3?
What?
Yeah, so if you owe $10,000, they're going to pay $30,000 to get your $10,000.
What?
Yeah. I think there's something wrong right there. That should be fixed. I don't understand why in the world it doesn't make any sense.
Not at all.
If that was like a mom and pop business, like well,
they'd be out of business.
Yeah,
it's upside down.
You couldn't do that. And why in the world are our politicians letting them do that? It doesn't make any sense to me. So, again, not to get people
Government
all
doesn't
huffy and
make
upset,
sense.
but I just think that's a bizarre story. So, again, for every $1 they have to collect, they spend $3 paying contractors to do it.
Ridiculous.
Well, unless, of course, you're the contractor getting paid. Maybe that's what we should be doing these days. All right. Coming up, we do have that good news. I promised, and I found some. It's coming up.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with some good news, and I think this is pretty darn good news. My beautiful bride, Heidi, shared this with me. After experiencing the worst service at a restaurant, this couple says nothing, but their check kind of says it all when they paid. Mackenzie and Steve Schultz were celebrating their 6th wedding anniversary, so this was kind of a milestone, like a big deal. And they were trying to have some nice dinner at a sushi restaurant. It quickly turned into one of the worst restaurant experiences they've ever had. It took 20 minutes for the first glass of water, another 40 minutes before they could get an appetizer, over an hour for the entree. Many people would have complained, and some might have even walked out. That's not what these people did. You know what they did, Heidi?
I do know what they did because I sent you the story. They left a very nice tip.
They did, and there's a photo. Don't they look just like an awesome couple?
They just look like really cool
I want to
people.
hang out with those guys.
Yeah.
Says here, we didn't leave a snarky review. They didn't ask to speak to a manager. They empathized with the wait staff because they've both been in their shoes before. They've done this before, and they know how struggling it can be and how stressful it can be. So what they did do is they got their bill for $66.65, and they wrote for the gratuity a $100 tip.
That's
$100.
awesome.
And then they put, "We've both been in your shoes," paying it forward. So there you go. I think that's really cool. And I bet that person that was, not necessarily having the greatest night because it was a really busy night probably felt a whole lot better about that. So probably thought, you know what, I'm glad that they were nice about it because there's a lot of different ways that could have gone.
Oh, yeah. I probably would have handled it one of the other ways.
I remember going to a restaurant where they were advertising kids night. They want kids, and we came in with our kids, and they wouldn't serve us.
No.
And there were tables around us that would get, they would eat and leave and eat and leave.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
And we
I
were
was
sitting
so
there. I was
angry.
like, well, why are we even here? Let's just go. And then Heidi was laughing. She's like, I kind of want to, just out of morbid curiosity, see how long we wait. We were late for the parade, I can tell you that. All right. This has been your good news. I've got a link to this story, the one that we talked about, not ours, but a link to this story on our Facebook page. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Thanks for listening on a Wednesday.